students.
Good morning, teacher.
How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
I'm fine, thank you. What date is it today? Amrad, what date is it today?
The 31st of January.
And what day is it?
Today is Tuesday.
Today is Tuesday. Now, the theme of the lesson is second conditional, and today we will learn new words and use these words to talk about imaginary situations, and then read a text about a will, and then use if to make up sentences in second conditional clause. Now, watch this video and try to remember all the adjectives from the video. Okay? Try to remember. Just a moment.
You are mind-blowing. You are wonderful. You are jaw-dropping. You are dreamlike.
Have you learned? I want to divide you into 3 groups. I have some gifts for you, and your task is to choose one of them, one by one. Literary genres. And what kind of genres do you know? Comedy, thriller,
Mystery and adventure
story,
fantasy,
cartoon or animation. Detective and spy stories and so on. Now, your whole task was to learn by heart the poem by George Byron in romantic genre. Yeah? And who is ready? Who has learned by heart? Okay. Samash. Come on.
She walks in beauty like the night by Lord Byron. She walks in beauty like the night of closest quiet and mysterious skies, and all that best of dark and the bright, mystical aspect and the closed eyes, that mellow to tender light, which happen to guide the day the next.
Thank you. Splendid.
One trades the more, one raise the less. Had health impaired, the nameless grace, which we've impaired in every riven tress, or softly lightens o'er her face, which shrouds certainly sweet express how poor, how dear their dwelling place.
Thank you. Good job. Literary genres. Let's do this task, please. Do you know this book, The War of the Worlds? The War of the Worlds. Қандай кітап еді? Война? Да, Война миров. Okay.
History.
This is?
History.
The genre of this book is science fiction story, fairy tale, or fantasy story? Fantasy story. No.
Science fiction story.
Science fiction story. Next. Treasure Island. What is in Kazakh for? Treasure Island. Қазақшасы қалай еді? Я, остров. Остров сокровищ қой. Қазына аралдары, иә? This is
An adventure novel.
an adventure novel. Okay, right you are. Next. Stephen King.
Horror novel.
Next, Romeo and Juliet.
Romance.
It's a
Romance.
Classic.
classic story or modern story or humorous story?
Classic.
Classic story, yes. It's a classic story. Now, next. Leo Tolstoy. War and Peace.
Historical.
Final Sunday. Historical novel, right you are. Next, the Adventures of Sherlock Holmes.
Detective story.
It's a detective story. Yes, you are right. Next, Bravery, Fahrenheit.
Fantasy.
You think that it's a fantasy book? No.
A science fiction.
It's a science fiction. Next, Lord of the Rings. The Lord of the Rings.
Escape.
Властелин колец.
Fantasy.
It's a fantasy book. Yes, right, you are. Okay, that's all. Now, look at these sentences. If I won a lottery, I would buy my iPhone 16 Pro Max. Who can translate it? Dimash, translate this sentence. If I won a lottery, translate into Kazakh.
If I won a lottery.
Into Kazakh, translate into Kazakh.
Егер мен лотереяны ұтсам, мен iPhone 16 Pro Max алар едім.
Сатып алар едім. Okay, next. If I were a bird, I would fly everywhere. Who can translate? Nurgül'de.
Егер мен құс болсам, мен әр жерде ұшар едім.
Барлық жерлерге ұшып барар едім, yeah? Now, question. Do these sentences refer to a real or imaginary situation?
Imaginary.
Yes, these sentences refer to imaginary situations. Now, we call such kind of sentences second conditional sentences. Is it clear? And look at the structure of the sentence. The sentence consists of two parts. The first part is if sentence, and the second part is a result sentence. Won, it's the past form of win. Yes? Okay, and the екінші сөйлемде we would use would and the infinitive. Now look here. The second conditional uses simple past. Жаңа айттық, бірінші сөйлемде if-тен кейін simple past. Қайша? Өткен and would and infinitive, would and infinitive ол не еді? Would және infinitive қолданамыз. Result sentence. Екінші результатты нәтижені көрсететін сөйлемді қолданамыз. Мысалға, read this sentence, Сағыныш.
If I won the lottery,
I would buy
a big house.
a big house. Next. Read this sentence.
If met the queen of England, I will say hello.
I would say, can you translate this sentence?
Yes.
Егер мен Queen of England,
Англияның
королевасы met өткен шығар. Кездесіп, естер едім? Мен оған сәлем естер едім деймін. Бұл да this is an imaginary situation. Бұл жерде жай ғана реальный ситуация емес, ол қандай ситуация? Ол қиялдан туған ситуация. Сондықтан біз осындай қиялдан туған ситуацияларды айту кезінде біз second conditionalды қолданады екенбіз. Is it clear?
Yes.
Past simple қолданамыз деді. Past simple жай өткен шақ деді. Енді past simple, let's revise the verbs in past simple. Verbs in past simple. We divide verbs into two. Regular and irregular, yeah?
Yes.
Regular, what is the difference between them? We add, не қосушы едік? Regular, we add ed to the regular, and in the irregular verbs, irregular қаяқтан көрші едік? From? regular verbs, please.
Regular verbs is call, cook, work, like, think, love, open, talk, try, play,
Is there any mistake?
and
Is there any mistake? Var mı? Ошибка? Хате var mı? No. 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 There isn't any mistake. Okay. Here.
I reading
Irregular verbs are
be, speak, say, take, do, come, make,
go,
write, make, have.
have. Is there any mistake? Is there any mistake? No. Okay. Have there any mistakes? One Need is regular or irregular verb? Need regular mı irregular mı? Regular. Телефон өткен жақында needed иди қалады. Қандай болады? Regular. Has there any mistakes?
Yes, want. It is regular but
Want is
regular.
What is regular verb? And only one mistake, yes?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay, thank you. Excellent. Now, look at this task. Look at this task. You should make mini dialogues between each other. Okay? For example, what would you do if you lived in France? The answer is, if I lived in France, I would speak French. Егер мен Францияда тұратын болсам, мен французша сөйлейтін едім. Бұл да қиялдан туған imagination. Your task is to make up mini dialogues. Okay?
$1 million.
No, the first question. Good question. What would you do?
What would you do if you have
If you had
$1 million?
If you had a question to whom?
To Nursaya.
Nursaya.
if I had $1 million, I would buy for me some cars.
Some cars.
Yes.
Not one car. Next. Dimash or Nursaya. Question. Begin. What
What would you do if you live in France?
No. Söyleme yaşamayı istiyorsan. What would you do if? Choose one of these endings. If your mother was famous. The question is to Aysu. What would you do if your mother was famous?
If
Түсіндің ба сұрақты?
yes.
Сенің мамаң атақты болса, сен не істер едің?
If my mother was famous, I would.
Good job. Now, next task is look at this word. Look at this word. The first word is pass away. Pass away. Repeat after me. Pass away.
Pass away.
Pass away.
Pass away.
Will дегеніміз қазақша мұра дегеніміз. Завещание орысшасы, иә? Келесі. Енді бүгін біз мына бөлшек сандар қалай айту керек дегеніміз. Бөлшек сан болғанда 2-ден 1 дегеніміз ол бір заттың несі? Жартысы. Тура жартысы. Оны біз ағылшынша айтамыз. Half. Repeat after me. Half. 3-ден 1 дегенді біз айтамыз. Бірдің өзін ғана айтамыз дағы, астындағы бөлімін реттік сан есім ретінде айтамыз. жаттап еді білеміз. Бірінші, екінші деген. First, second, third. Қалған барлығын th алаймыз есімізде, иә? Сонда реттік жалғауларын реттік, сан есімдерді қоя саламыз. 1/3. 1/3. Ол 3-тен 1 бөлігі деген сөз. Енді 9-дан 1 бөлігі дегенді. 1/9. 1/9. Divide. Не істеу? Divide, бөлу деген сөз. Divide, бөлу. To solve the problem. To solve the problem дегеніміздің екі мағынасына біреусі есеп шығару, екіншісі мәселені шешу, проблеманы шешу деген мағына. To solve the problem. Okay? Now, Dimash, begin to read the text. Begin to read the text.
An old man used it to lie with his 3 sons. They had
Now, we'll play the 5th grade of this. You should do this way.
Which is very solid. After all men passed away, his worry came his sons and gave him
Don't read it.
And for the eldest son, old man give nine ducks.
Why 9?
Because he's eldest. And 2 ducks.
Okay, thank you.
His flower came up to his 3 sons and gave them.
It means, all again, Sasha, it means?
8 ducks.
Go on. Savage, go on.
If I was a wise man, I will give the older son 8 ducks.
8 ducks.
If I was a wise man, I will give a little son 6 ducks. If I was a wise man, I will give
1 diamond each. Okay? And 1 diamond.
Wise man listened to them carefully and partly after this wise man. If I were a wise man, I would give to the oldest son 9 ducks because if you divide 17 by 2, you get almost 9 ducks.
Would give to the middle son 6 ducks because if you divide 17 by 3,
Divide 17 by 3 or not?
you get 6 ducks.
If I were a wise man, I will give to youngest son 2 ducks because 9 plus 6 is 15, and we have 2 ducks left.
2 ducks left. Okay? So is it all?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Good job. This wise man bought a duck of his own. Duck of his own. Ол не істейді? Өзі тағы да өзінің үйінен плюс 1 не алып келеді. Сөйтеді дағы. Now wise man asked, half of 18 ducks, that 9 ducks, уже 9 үйрек болады, иә? Үйінен біреу әкеліп қосса, оның жартысы 9 үйрек болады. And 1/3 of 18 ducks, that is 6 ducks. 18-дің 3-тен 1 бөлігі 6 болады. Енді қайтадан бізде 1 duck is left. Тағы бір неміз қалып кетті, иә? Ол қайтадан шыққан еді? Үйінен әкелген. And with this 1 duck was left, which wise man's duck, he took it back. So the problem has solved. Okay, thank you for your participation, for your attention. You Okay, so lesson is over.
Goodbye.